August 12, 30 BC, deep inside a palace in Alexandria, the last queen of Egypt prepared to die. Her empire was gone, her allies defeated, and her lover, the great Marc Antony, lay dying in her arms. This is the story of Cleopatra's final night, the moment the ancient world took its last breath. For nearly 2 decades, Cleopatra ruled Egypt with unparalleled wit, beauty, and political savvy. She conversed in 9 languages and was beautiful not just in face but in mind. A great strategist who kept Egypt free while Rome devoured kingdoms one by one. She started as Julius Caesar's ally and finished as an ally of his general, Marc Antony. Together, they dreamed of constructing an Eastern empire that would rival Rome itself. But plans based on love and power do not long survive politics. In 31 BC, those visions were crushed at the Battle of Actium. On that day, Antony and Cleopatra's fleets, allied together, were confronted by Octavian, later to become Emperor Augustus. The winds turned against them. Their ships were burned, and panic ensued. Cleopatra withdrew her fleet from combat, and Antony did the same, a decision that lost them all. Octavian dominated the seas, and Egypt's fate was sealed. Octavian's legions had reached Alexandria by the summer of 30 BC. Antony's demoralized and weakened army collapsed quickly. Cleopatra escaped into her mausoleum, a grand marble tomb she had constructed years before, adorned with ivory, gold, and Egyptian gods. While Roman troops swept through the city, Antony believed Cleopatra must have perished. Crushed, he drove his own sword into himself. His bodyguards carried him, bleeding, to the mausoleum, where he died in Cleopatra's arms. She was 39, the last of her line. Days later, Octavian rode into the city. Cleopatra was found to be alive, but broken. The queen who ruled kings now stood to be humiliated, to be paraded through Rome in chains as a trophy of victory. Octavian offered her mercy if she surrendered her riches, but Cleopatra knew what it truly meant, the destruction of her honor. She would not bow. "You shall not conquer me," she is said to have told him. On the evening of August 12, Cleopatra put on her royal robes, gold and white linen, and placed the crown of Egypt on her head. She dined alone with her 2 devoted attendants, Iras and Charmian, inside the mausoleum. Octavian's guards watched outside, believing that she had accepted her fate. But Cleopatra possessed one final secret. She smuggled a small Egyptian cobra, the sacred asp, in a basket of figs being carried by a devoted servant. Having penned a final letter to Octavian, she dismissed her guards. She came in a short while later and found her lying on her golden divan, dead, the bite of the serpent on her arm, the face calm and tranquil. Iris was dying beside her. Charmian, with trembling hands, readjusted the queen's tiara and puffed softly. It was becoming for a queen born of kings. She too fell. Octavian was enraged. Cleopatra had denied him his victory parade. In Rome, however, her death was mythologized. Poets called her the woman who dared an empire. Octavian made Egypt a Roman province, draping its temples with his standards. The pharaonic era, 3 millennia of divine kings, ended that night. But Cleopatra's legacy lived on. To one, she was a seductress who led great men astray. To others, she was a queen who fought for the independence of her nation until the bitter end. Her death was not just the end of Egypt, but the beginning of the Roman Empire. Centuries later, her story remains captivating to us, of a woman who had dared to rule in a man's world, who had used wit, love, and courage as her weapons. Her tomb has never been found, though archaeologists keep digging the dunes around Alexandria. Somewhere beneath Egypt's dunes, the last queen might lie still, her story whispering through the ages, reminding us that empires come and go, but legends do not perish. Cleopatra's death wasn't the end of Egypt, it was the start of something new. And though Rome conquered her body, her legend conquered history. The last pharaoh is gone, but her shadow still fills the sands of time.